Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of Intuitive Angling, and really appreciate you guys checking the video out today and spending some time with me. Guys, today got a good one for you all today. We are going to be talking about some of the top techniques you need to get ready for the upcoming fall fishing season. At the time of filming this video, this is the first week of August, and before you know it, another month from now, the fall season is going to be starting. And I sort of wanted to give you guys sort of a preparatory little video here to start maybe getting ready for it, maybe get some of the baits I'm going to talk about today and try to some of the techniques on the lake you're fishing, because I sort of consider the fall season to sort of be between like mid-September into the first part of December, with the heart of it being in like October and November. So I'm going to go over some techniques that'll work on your guys' lake, and I think it's really going to help you guys have a successful fall. Also, guys, just a couple quick reminders. I just want to let you know that I'm going to be starting up my on the water lessons again. You know, I haven't had a boat for most of the summer. I finally got my boat deal going. I'm going to announce it probably in about a week from now. So if you guys are interested in checking out and booking an on the water lesson with me, just shoot me a private message on my Facebook page, Randy Blaukat Professional Angler, and I'll give you all the information for that. Really appreciate it. Okay, guys, fall fishing, man. There's out of the two seasons, my favorite times of the year to fish are the late pre-spawn, like right when that water temperature is in the upper 50s, and then again in the mid to late fall. Those are my two favorite time of years to fish. Probably a lot of it is just like, you know, the leaves are starting to get green in the pre-spawn and the leaves are starting to fall in the fall. Fish are a little bit more active. But I want to go over, guys, I've got five. I've got 5 lures that I want to show you that really work good in fall time, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the techniques and how to fish them that pretty much apply to every lake out there. So we'll get into that in today's video. And also, guys, all of the lures, I'm going to link every lure I have here in my description of this video on my Tackle Warehouse link. If you guys would like to try some of the 5 here, if you use that link, it's a good way to help the channel and get you some good baits as well. Okay, the first one, guys, I want to talk about, which is one of my favorite techniques for fall time fishing, is ripping a spinnerbait. And the spinnerbait has to be real specific for this to work. You need a small profile, natural looking spinnerbait with small willow leaf blades. This is the Megabass SV3 spinnerbait, which in my opinion is by far the best burning spinnerbait out there because it runs completely straight no matter how fast you reel it. It's got 2 little small willow leaf blades, really natural looking fish head on it, and it's got hand tied, you know, really natural looking skirts with like a natural trailer on it, so you don't have to put a trailer. Just absolutely the best burning spinnerbait I have ever seen in my life. So here's what you need and what you want to look for when you're burning a spinnerbait. Number one, you need water temperatures sort of between 55 and maybe 65 degrees, maybe 70, 55 and 70 degrees. Sort of, to me, the best burning spinnerbait situations I've had have come in like October and early November. So you need that type of water temperature frame, and then you got to have the right water visibility. You really need to have water visibility of at least 3 foot. Ideally, I like sort of 4 to 6 foot of visibility for this to work good. The next thing you need to have is you got to have some low light. And the low light can be like shade from early in the morning or in the evening, or it could be, which is my favorite, which would be a cloudy, rainy day. If you have a cloudy, rainy day, clear water, and it's in October and that water temperature is in the 60s, you're set up perfectly for burning a spinnerbait. And it also helps if you have some wind. I do like to have some surface disturbance a little bit. It doesn't have to be super windy, but just something to break that surface up. And when you're reeling the spinnerbait, guys, you need to, when you cast it out there, you need to stop it with your thumb and start reeling immediately. Don't let it sink down. Like, almost start reeling it before the lure hits the bottom. And when you're reeling it across the surface, or, you know, close to the surface, don't ever let it get over about 6 inches under the water. Ideally, you want to get it where the spinnerbait is like 1 inch or 2 under the water, almost like where you can see like a surface disturbance. The bait's coming through the water so shallow and so fast that you're not breaking the surface with the blades, but you're seeing a little bit of wake behind it. You don't have to have it, but it's sort of like a typical cast. I would cast that burning spinnerbait and I'll reel it, and it's like I'll see a little bulge from the blades, and all of a sudden the blades disappear, the bulge disappears, and I'll speed it up again and it starts again. That's the perfect speed for it. And when they hit it, guys, they'll like take it out of your hand. I have done so good. The second biggest bass I've ever caught in a Bassmaster tournament came burning a spinnerbait first week of December down at Lake Lanier, Georgia. It's a 9-pounder. And another thing with that, It's all about rocky banks. The rocky banks, they can be bluff banks, they can be rocky banks, they can be rocky points. The points don't necessarily have to be rocky. I have caught them burning them on like clay points and gravelly points. But I like to just, based upon the angle of the bank, sometimes I'm paralleling the bank if the bank's, drops off sharper. If it's flatter with rock extending out or on a point, I'll make a cast and fish it a little bit farther out with my boat deeper off the water. Burning spinnerbait, guys, is a great way to catch them. Most of the time I'll use it on a 7'2" that Megabass perfect pitch rod, usually with like 15, 17 pound test T-guard Bizex line. Okay, the next one, guys, really good fall bait for me has been is this old school Rebel Humpy. A lot of you guys that are channel regulars, you may have heard me talk about this. This bait right here is close to 50 years old, but you can still get them. I got them at Tackle Warehouse. It's a Rebel Humpy. And guys, I don't know what it is about it. This is an old school crankbait, nothing special about it, but there's something in the fall time of the year. It's one of those mysterious things about bass fishing. I catch a lot of fish on the old Rebel Humpy in the fall time of the year when that water temperature, again, is mid 50s to up around 70 degrees. Rocky banks, I catch them on any type of rocky bank, catch them around brush. A little bit off-colored water will help. If you got water visibility sort of between maybe 1.5 feet to 3 foot would be perfect. I'll tell you guys an ideal situation. If you guys, all you guys that have ever fished Grand Lake before, I've caught tons of bass on Grand Lake in October and November on the Humpy right here. So super good fall bait. Okay, the next one, guys, is a full-size jig. This is my Blaukat throwback jig. You guys may have heard me announce that they just got them in at Tackle Warehouse this week. It's a full-size pitching and flipping jig. And in the fall time of the year, I like a full-size flipping and pitching jig, usually a 1/2 ounce head with a Zoom super chunk trailer on it. Big chunk type trailer, not a finesse jig. This is a full-size jig. And guys, in October, November specifically, there is a bite window where they really like a big jig. There's 2 times a year when a big jig excels. Number one is during the pre-spawn, a little bit during the early post-spawn, and then again, like in October and November. Two of the Bassmaster tournaments I won have come in October on a full-size jig like this. Really good deal. Just pitch it and flip it around any shallow wood cover around docks. If you do have flooded vegetation, which happens sometimes in the fall, but not often, it can be good with that. But probably my favorite deal with this is just flipping it, pitching it around stumps in the water, lay down trees, logs, anything like that. But a really big full-size jig is going to be a really good way to catch them. And the color of your jig just depends on your water clarity and the skunlight conditions to some extent. Okay, the next one, guys, is a old school this is a Zara Spook, but it's a Super Spook in black. Again, another one of those things, I don't know what the deal is about it, but a black Super Spook is one of my favorite lures in the fall time of the year. As long as you have water temperatures like, around 60 degrees, between 60, 70 degrees, something like that, you get you a cloudy day in October or November, and that water temperature being right around 60 or a little bit more, you guys are going to catch some good ones on a black Zara Spook, especially if you have the right water clarity conditions. Water clarity, again, needs to be around 3 feet or cleaner. There's no limit to how clean it can get, but I like to be at least 3 feet of visibility. And the black Spook, guys, it works good in a wide range of light intensities. You can catch them on sunny days with it, cloudy days, it doesn't really matter, but there's something about in the fall time of the year that a black Spook really stands out. Super Spook, not the regular Spook, but it's the Super Spook stands head and above a lot of the rest of them out there. And then, guys, you can see here, I always upgrade to that Gamakatsu G Finesse treble hook on the Spooks because they're a really light hook and they work really well. And finally, guys, fall time of the year when that water temperature starts to get in the 60s, in my opinion, it's the best time of the year to throw a big glide bait or a big swim bait. Personally, my favorite is this 8-inch Megabass Magdraft. A lot of guys like the hard glide baits that work pretty good too, but one of the things about it is in the fall, when that water temperature starts getting down into the 60s, they go for a big glide bait in the fall time of the year, pretty much better than any other time. If you gave me the #1 time to throw a big glide bait or a big swim bait, it would be in the fall time, October, November. I catch more fish and they're more aggressive on a big glide bait or swim bait than they even are in the pre-spawn. This is my favorite color. This is that Megabass. This is the nude rainbow here. They have one called a nude bass and a nude rainbow, but this is the color that my preference here. I'll link it in the description too. But usually throw it on 25-pound test Seaguar Vizex line. I throw it on my flipping stick. You got to have wind though, guys. The main thing about this, if you get on this bait here, you got say 3 or 4 foot of water visibility. You got a 15-mile-an-hour wind that's coming in on some main lake or secondary points. Perfect scenario for the big swim bait like this. Also on bluffs. If you guys got some bluffs with clear water that's got some wind on it, a big glide bait and a swim bait is really, really good. So anyway, guys, that is 5 of my favorite techniques that you need to get prepped for. If you guys don't want to fish in August and September, it's so hot right now, but you want to get ready for fall season, and that's later in the year, these are the 5 I'd suggest trying. So hope it helps out, guys. We'll talk later.